Composition of forces. Composition of forces is just the process of finding the resultant of number of forces. That's if you are given more than one force and you're asked to find the resultant, the process of doing so is called composition or compounding of forces. So it's just the process of finding the resultant of system of forces. So we can do this analytically using two methods. So it's either we use parallelogram law or we use resolution of force. So these are the two methods we use in finding the resultant of system of forces. Let's start with parallelogram law. So parallelogram law, it states that if two forces acting simultaneously on a particle be represented in magnitude and in direction by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, their resultant may be represented in magnitude and in direction by the diagonal of that parallelogram which passes through their point of intersection. So we'll draw a parallelogram to state this. So we say that if they represent the sides, this is also because in a parallelogram the opposite sides are congruent. So F1 is adjacent to F2. So this is also F2. So they said the diagonal is the resultant. So we draw the diagonal. So this is the diagonal. So this diagonal is our resultant. So this is R, resultant. So they said if the two are inclined at an angle, so if we call here angle theta, so they said the resultant is the diagonal of the parallelogram, such that this is also, remember this is parallel to this, so this should be 180 minus theta. Taking this part of this triangle, maybe it's triangle, okay, let's level A, B, C, D. So taking in triangle BCD, cosine rule, you see that R is square root F1 squared plus F2 squared minus 2F1 F2 cos 180 minus theta. So from cosine rule we can get the resultant, and again we can still write the resultant as square root F1 squared plus F2 squared plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. You'll be wondering how. Do you remember in trigonometry 180, this 180 minus theta means second quadrant, and in second quadrant cosine is negative. So this thing is now minus cos theta. That minus multiplies this minus to be plus. I'm saying that because cos 180 minus theta is the same thing as minus cos theta. So if you replace this with that, you will get this. So with that, now you see that you can use either this or this depending on the angle. If theta is less than 90, we use this second one. Why this? If theta is greater than 90. So that's how you use it. We take this first one if the angle is greater than 90. But if it's less than 90, you take the second one.